So you guys know I love yins. I think you know at least I try to convey that throughout all of this absurd content that we make. And so because 2020 has been an incredible year and so many of you have given us the time and sometimes respect of watching our content and engaging and being awesome, I want to give back. Sam wants to give back. Don't you, Sam?
Yeah.
And so we are going to build something and give it away to you guys. Stick around through the video. I'll tell you how you can win it at the end. But in order to do so, I need to go get the nicest, the finest, the sweetest, and most expensive probably slab I can from the Slab store. We're going to Woodcraft. I will take your nicest slab.
Settle down, big boy. I got something for you.
Ah, sounds like a very reasonable price. I'll take it. All right, we got the old girl down in the shop now, and once again, this slab, just like the one we did for the float lounge, is a potato chip. So don't cry, but I'm gonna cut this chunk off. Hold your tears. All right, I want to kind of visualize what this top's going to look like. So I'm crawling on the ground, which is my least favorite thing to do, but just want something for reference, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm pretty much just have this little compass here. And now that I think about it, we could have definitely done this standing up.
Idiot! Yeah, but you couldn't have this sweet pose.
My sweet pose? You talking about my wife again?
How are you talking about?
Just because you got a wife now, don't mean you need to bring mine up. All right. This is a round cardboard cutout. That's a fun sound. Anyway, it's 38-inch round, and we're roughing our shape of our table. So after a little bit of discussion here, Sam and I have decided we're gonna go with right about here. So I marked a straight line. We're gonna cut this in half, and because of how this thing's bowed, should help it sit a little flatter. We'll see if we need to mill it before we build my box. So we want this thing as close to as flat as we can get it, as close to words. And because of that, we've got a surfacing bit, as you just saw in Miss Piggy, and we're gonna put her to work. All right, so another bonus of making this paper template beforehand was I can now, because I'm not the most versed in the CNC, instead of trying to reference the table and do some stuff there, I'm just gonna reference the center of where we kind of want this circle to be. And then what we're gonna do is allow the CNC to cut 1.25 inches down to create half the round, and then we will finish it on the table saw, or excuse me, the bandsaw with a flush trim bit. Reason being is that we have no other way of holding this down because I don't have a vacuum table. So we're making do with what we've got. And those of you that are intimidated to get into CNC work because you don't think you know, just take what you do know. This is the same way we do it with a router jig if we only had access to that. So Miss Piggy's got a 1/2 inch up spiral bit from Bits and Bits in there. Let's crank! So we learned our lesson on the last job we did with this Piqua, and that's, if you were wondering, yes, this is a $4,000 slab of Piqua that I keep cutting into smaller and smaller chunks. Can't help myself. But it's time to put on my superhero suit, finish this cut. staring at my bits. And go save yourself 15% in bits and bits. So I'm gonna sand this to 120 grit, and then we're gonna light it on fire. We gotta build a mold first. All right, so she's looking good. Hey girl, how you doing? Anyway, now we need to make her a mold so she can have a home. So we're gonna do that before we light her on fire so it dries, the mold dries. We've got 30 or whatever that is, 45-minute caulk, right?
Sure.
And then I'll hit her with the old torchy magoo. And then encapsulate the whole thing in a bunch of resin and hope it doesn't look like a death. We're gonna start off this calamity. I'm building a box. I'm gonna pin this thing together and then I'll come back and use screws to actually make her strong. You guys are probably gonna be like, John, that's a waste of materials. Sure is. All right, children, it is time to flame broil this beautiful slab. But before we get into it, excuse me. Ah, much better. So I typically do my flame broiling with this MAP gas torch, but today I'm feeling feisty. So I sent Sam to the store for trail mix, and then I bought this. Let's go. So to seal in the ash and all the edges, I'm gonna put a couple coats of lacquer on it. Blacktail Studios did one of these and he did a flood coat of epoxy, I believe, before he put it in his mold. You could do that as well. We don't really have time to do a flood coat, so we're going with what I know. And what I know is to let us spray. Okay, so we got the old girl leveled. We're up in the office because we like to party and we like to do it in the office. Duh. We're gonna vacuum the mold out one more time and then hit it with this pour. We're going with rivertableepoxies.com again, because this stuff cures in like 24 to 48 hours. And we've been having phenomenal results. I've got a discount code in the description if yins wanna pour what yins pour. What's the cranberry juice, huh?
You know what to do. Scoop the butt. Tail protects it. You're okay. He's fine.
He doesn't even make an effort to bite you, he just gets pissed. Well, the absolute worst thing that could have happened has happened. For some reason that I don't know, we've got a lot of yellow in the resin here, so it's not clear, which is a problem when you're trying to have clear resin. We don't really have time to do a flood coat, so we're going with what I know. On the other flip side of it, if I didn't spend so much on this slab, this thing would be in the trash right now. So to try and salvage it, we are going to take it out of the mold, cut around, and then I'm going to kind of assess what it looks like from there, and see if I can still make some magic. Gonna be completely honest, it's taking all of me to emotionally not just lose it right now. But this is life. Just gotta punch it back in the face. You get hit in the face, punch back. So, demold, CNC, see if we can salvage this thing. Okay, so this thing pulled out a pair of brass knuckles and is absolutely sucker punching us square in the teeth. So come over here, check it out. Few things. So I think the mold bowed or warped somehow, even though we had it perfectly flat and level. You know what? We're actually gonna blame Jordan. Jordan!
Yeah.
Why didn't you remember that we needed support under the center of the mold when we poured the epoxy? God, this is like your third month here.
I think I told you. I think it's the second epoxy pour he's done with us.
So when we poured this, we didn't have support in the center of the mold, and I think the weight, somehow we always forget that epoxy is like very heavy. I think the weight bowed us down. This thing was cupped pretty decently, and because of that, we were higher on this side than we were on this side, as you can see. So we ended up taking away some of the burn, but I think we kind of still like this ombre look that it came out with. Fortunately, this is, for myself, so, well, you guys, because you can win this table, by the way, if you join our Friday Live that we're going to be having on Black Friday. Mark your calendars. But fortunately, it's not for our client, so we can continue to go with the creativity. So we're going to cut this thing out into a round and start sanding it to kind of get a better look for it, and then I'm going to come up with the most ridiculous thing I can think of for a base. So let's get to it. So this thing's kicking my ass. We just had a bunch of issues. I let it sit over the weekend so I could get my bearings again on it and come back with a better game plan. Sometimes life's hard and it keeps, consistently getting you. You just gotta get it back. Keep getting after it. And that's what we're gonna do with this. I got a template here for the top that we're going to template out. Should give us rough shape, and then we're going to do some sanding so I can get a better look at this slab and just keep pushing through. So let's go.
You in there?
Good, because I got 2-part catalyzed lacquer, and you know what it means. Let us spray. So this project has given us a lot of challenges thus far. We don't know what else is going to continue to pop up. That kind of seems to be the theme of life these days. And with that, I like to advocate on taking control of as much of the situation as I can and being prepared. When it comes to building, experience always helps. But when it comes to conquering your day, preparing yourself properly is something I highly advocate for. When things get out of control for me, typically because I'm not eating well, I'm not working out, I'm not focusing on my mental status, and I'm really just not taking care of myself. I also typically tend to look like a grizzly bear. So I'm super excited to be partnering up with Wahl Grooming to let you guys know that you got this. Whether it's a difficult project like this or all of the adversity that life seems to be throwing our way in 2020, just buckle up those bootstraps and get after it. You've got it. You can do this. Hard things happen to all of us, and it just takes a little bit of preparation and a little bit of effort, and you can do it. If you guys are interested in checking out some more awesome products from Wahl, I got those linked down below. I'm definitely going to trim myself up to get myself feeling a little better about this project that's been whooping my ass. And then we're going to make a crazy sweet base, and I'm going to give it away to one of you guys. So let's get after it. So this one turned out pretty cool. Kicked my ass for the most part, but we were able to persevere through it. And I'm super excited to be giving it away to one of you guys this Friday on Black Friday. You've got to be on the live stream if you want a chance to win it, so make sure you're subscribed. We're also launching this sweet new exclusive, we're calling it, what are we calling it?
Stealth.
We're also launching this sweet new exclusive Stealth Punch Today in the Face t-shirt that'll be available only on the weekend of Black Friday, so keep an eye open for that. And if you want to see more resin absurdity, we've got another video queued up for you right here.